25 hours of some of the most intense, groundbreaking gaming, I have finished Naughty Dog's latest masterpiece, The Last of Us Part 2. While yes, this is probably one of the most violent video games I've ever played, making me feel so uncomfortable at times that I need to put down the controller and think about what I just did. The gameplay is so intuitive that every fight against enemy feels like it took everything inside of me to overcome. But then in contrast, the moments that are filled with love and happiness are just as believable, reminding you along the way why you're doing what you're doing. This is an experience unlike anything I've ever encountered before. Naughty Dog, you have outdone yourselves. And now, as I continue to unpack this, I want to say that in order for me to fully give my opinion about why I think this is a storytelling triumph, I have to talk about the game as a whole, and so spoiler alert people, do not watch the rest of this video till you have finished the game. Okay, you are still here, which means you don't mind spoilers or you're done, so let's get into it. When you love and appreciate someone so much that when something terrible happens to that loved one, anger clouds all judgment. Well, that is how I felt when Abby killed Joel. It was gruesome and made my skin hurt. I wanted to destroy Abby, but by the end, I didn't want to kill Abby. I was so torn up and wrecked from the experiencing of father dying by Joel's hand. The game takes you on a journey that completely humanizes this monster, a monster that couldn't possibly have a good reason to do what she did, but yet somehow did. Is Abby blameless for what she did? No, but nor is Ellie and Joel. This is not a basic story about revenge. It wants to know at what point do you forgive and forget someone that hurt you so bad. It wants you to realize that hate only hurts you and revenge is meaningless. No one is the villain and no one is the hero. Everyone is doing what they think is right for their loved ones, and you can decide who is right or justified in their actions. And that is the beauty of this art piece. It's totally up to your interpretation. This kind of storytelling is what puts to shame a lot of movies and TV. It's not their fault because video games allow you to have a story experience that a TV series or film could never do. You are literally placed in the shoes of your enemy, in this case forced for 10 hours, and you start to grow attached to someone you once hated with all your heart. If that isn't excellent storytelling, then I don't know what is. Now I'm going to briefly touch on what I did not like about Part 2. I do think this is one of the best video games I've ever played, but nothing is perfect. Starting with the lack of character bantering, which Joel and Ellie made classic. Yes, there are some great moments, but I enjoyed every moment with Joel and Ellie in the last game. This was a little bit disappointing with some truly dark and dull moments, however it didn't take away from the ultimate narrative. And then the side characters like Dina, Ellie's love interest, the person Sony's marketing led you to believe died. But she didn't, and I kinda wish she did. One, because obviously I love Joel, and the other reason was because I just didn't like her. Hectic, I know, but it's just my opinion. Can't explain why. I have the same issue with Abby's love interest, Matt. Don't think he's that great, but I see Ellie and Abby love them, and that is reason enough for me to care. Especially this moment where Ellie sings to Dina in a music store, a song that Joel taught her, which is heartbreaking, but there is hope for her happiness because Dina is still alive. It was a powerful scene that brought me to tears. Yeah, I don't like some of the characters, but I sure as heck like the main ones. While I do think that I find Ellie's character far more entertaining, Abby's moments with my favorite side character, Lev, made up for all of that. Abby's crew is at war with Lev's cult-like community, a community that has disowned him and his sister. Abby is saved by them, and that starts an unlikely friendship, wanting to now protect people that she once hated, especially Lev, who is a little parkour badass that I want a spin-off game starring him. By now you probably noticed that I've not spoken about how much I love the level design or the excellent combat or the beautiful graphics or the tons of subtle animations that make this game come alive. Instead, I focus on the story, which is why I absolutely adore the game. The thing you do mostly, actually playing the game, only complements the greater narrative. Which is astonishing because you go in thinking you're going to play another game only to leave it thinking like you do when you finish a good book, completely mesmerized by what you just went through. Everything staying with you for days and what you can't stop thinking about when you're trying to fall asleep. By the end, you are exhausted and Ellie starts to make some decisions I disagree with. However, I get it. She wants the nightmares to stop. She thinks getting justice for Joel will help, but killing isn't the answer. Abby realized that after she killed Joel, nothing will make her father's death okay. Ellie needed to have that understanding, but when you're as angry and as hurt as Ellie, that could take you years. It took Abby years. And that is how it ends, with Ellie becoming aware that she needed to move on. And those are my thoughts on the game. It wasn't a traditional review. I didn't focus on gameplay like I usually do, but I will say this about gameplay. It is outstanding, but I think you knew that already, and so I wanted to analyze what truly made this a unique adventure, and that of course was the brilliant writing. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and so comment below and throw a DM my way. Thanks so much everyone, I'll see you on the next one.